Morning, welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to go over this little seat over there and we'll have a quick chat about where we are and what we're going to do today. So where we are is about 10 minutes outside of Cockermouth and around about 15 minutes out of Keswick on the A66, and we turn off at a little place called Dubworth towards the Pheasant Inn, and then we take the road below the fell, which brings us to this here. And this here is Sail Fell, a very familiar fell for me, and we're going to show you around this morning. We'll have a little wander, yeah, and I think we're going to go that way, although you can kind of go up there and then that way. But anyway, one way to the Sail Fell it is this morning. So let's have a quick talk about what we're doing here this morning. Well, it's not a very big fell. There's lots of ways to get up it, and it's very popular. So what am I doing here? Well, we'll get on to a little bit more about the reasons a little bit later. Just watch what you're doing on there. Depends on which way you want to come at it, of course, but we're going for a stroll before we get to the summit itself. What I'd like to do this morning is to take you for a view of Bathensworth and the Skiddaw Massif beyond it before we get anywhere near the top. So that's to come. And if you want to do that first like I am, this is the trail. Now as you ascend this little path here, you might be tempted just to go up there. It looks like a path. Don't do that. Do this. I'm going to skirt along. A little bit off camber in places, but yeah, nothing too severe. It's not exactly sharp edge on Blencathra. Find your own way. Sometimes following in somebody else's footsteps is just, you know, following in somebody else's footsteps. I like the what you might call the path less trod. That's my favourite thing to do. And as I mentioned earlier, this little B road now joins the motorway. But it enters quite a nice little vantage place overlooking the lake. Lovely. As you approach, you see a fence. If your objective is Sail Fell alone, then I suggest you take either that path or that one. That's quite direct. Just takes you around a little bit, but because we're going on a bit of a wander, we're going to go through this gate and we're going to go up there instead. So as we leave the little beck behind, we're going to make our way up onto North-western. As I turn around to the sound of a helicopter, you can actually see our final objective of the day, which is Sail Fell up there. Might be hard for you to pick out, but I can see 5 people. Yeah, so even though this is early on a Wednesday morning, it's still quite popular. Isn't it lovely? And those clouds behind, just framing the fell with the lush green of the valley here. Yeah. Spot quiz. Which film is the song "The Trail of the Lonesome Pine" from? Answer at the end. Only a little fell, but that's pretty relentless, that little bit. For an old guy trying to get his fitness back. Look at what we're going to be rewarded with here. Hey, skiddo in the clag, as it's called round here. Look pike, dod, the Helvellyn range in centre frame. Yeah, fantastic. Bath and Lord's Seat, looking a bit dark and ominous at the moment. And our first little fell top, North-western, right here. So let's get that little bit done, and we'll have a wee chat on the top. Nearly there. That little knobble there. And I might be able to get a bit of my breath back.
Been staring at these screens all week. Papers piled up on my desk. Something calls me to the hills where my racing thoughts can rest, and my feet know just where to go.
So as I sit here listening to the helicopter flying backwards and forwards, and I look down upon Bathurst Lake and Scarness Bay. I think this is called Broadness, this bit, but anyway, Scarness Bay there. I'm reminded of a sailing, obviously, as I've mentioned, but also of the camps that we used to have there. Sleeping overnight in the boats sometimes. Yeah, with some great long-lasting friends. And I remember in particular Craig and Jeff, if you're watching, shout out to you guys. And yeah, drop me a line about your memories of Scarness and the tricks that we used to get up to. Yeah, probably not for public consumption.
Every step on this trail feels like coming home. Every stone and tree feels like my own. The mountain air clears my mind, finally leaving all those crowds behind. Oh, coming home.
So we'll just take our leave of North-western Fell, and what we're going to do is we're going to make our way in the general direction of can't even remember. So we're just going to take our leave of North-western Fell, and we're going to head in the general direction of Lingfell over there, but we're going to that knoll over there, which is called Rivings. Shouldn't take us too long, 10 minutes or so, and we'll just soak in the views as we go. Lord's Seat over there, that's quite a nice little walk. You can actually do it with Bath, Lord's Seat, Brownfell and Greystones. Yeah, and if you're feeling particularly adventurous, you can come from Greystones to Lingfell on to Salefell. Too far for me. Anyway, hope you're enjoying so far. You could perhaps tell me about your adventures in the Lake District and where you go for a wee bit of a stroll. These ladies aren't strolling anywhere this morning. They're all having a bit of a kip. Morning. Nothing. Blank by your sheep, dear me. So I was promised to tell you what all this was about. Well, although I made a few videos of me going up a few fells, I am absolutely not the fittest of blokes. Far from it. Far from it. So what I'm trying to do is to get myself a bit fitter and bring you guys along on the journey, so you can see that the real average fella like myself can do these fells. So can you. You don't actually have to go up Scarfell Pike to feel a sense of accomplishment. You don't need to conquer Helvellyn, as some YouTubers would have it. You don't have to beast your way up onto Blencathra via Sharp Edge to get a buzz in nature. I'll give it to you. Me and the sheep and the skylarks. What more can you ask for? I can assure you, from Scarfell Pike, Great End, Great Gable, the views are spectacular. Absolutely they are. But tell me it's any better than that. I dare you. Tell me it's any better than what I'm looking at right now. And they're completely out of the way. Oh, well trodden. A little inconsequential hill called Rivings. And it is a hill, not a fell. It certainly isn't a mountain. I think could be wrong here, so if I am, I apologise. But haven't the fells got to be over 500 metres to become mountains? Or is it 600? I don't know. But look at these. Take your time. You don't need to go up the big fells. You enjoy yourself. You get some peace and quiet. Just come up here with me and the sheep. There's a chuffing great cairn over there, but it's not quite the top. This is over here. By the way, if anybody knows what these little flowers here are, they look a bit like orchids to me. Please let me know. I've seen them for years and never actually known. And there we have it. Don't you just love it?
The water ripples by the shore like it's welcoming me back. I've missed these quiet moments here, far from life's well-beaten track. And the breeze carries.
Now, earlier we mentioned a more direct route, and that's where it comes up, and what it's going to do is going to swing up there, direct to Sail Fell this time. So yeah, come straight up the valley, up and round here. I'll take the more scenic route up at the low freight and onto the Ivings and then up here. Right, let's do it. Yeah, here we go. So we are kind of nearing the top. I thought I'd just bring you along for this little bit. But it just got a bit steeper on me, of course. There we go. There we have it. Sail Fell. A lovely view over towards Criffle in Dumfries and Galloway. Yeah. Colbeck, Oldale, Skiddaw appears to be not so much in a clag now. Yeah. Right, just over there is a real handy little place to go and have a little seat with your back against that rock and have a bit of a sit. If you've got friends with you, a bit of a crack, and a couple of sandwiches for me. Just as there are multiple, just as there are multiple, well, I can't say multiple. Whoa! Just as there are multiple ways up here, unsurprisingly, there's just as many down. And from this little rocky promontory here, you can see a few of them, along with a cute little bar lamp. Yeah. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight ahead, straight off the end there, and then we pick up the path that runs down there and back down the side of the fell again. Nice and simple. As we descend, there's this obvious split in the path. That way it takes you down to Withup Mill, the village of, and this way it takes you down to Withup Church, which is where we're going. couple of reflections on the day. So this for me is home turf. Because I live 20 minutes that way. And there's a little stroll out which is going to get me back before lunchtime. Absolutely perfect. Can't beat it. It's quite family friendly. Definitely dog friendly. I've seen as many dogs up here as I have people today. Yeah. Sheep friendly. I've seen 5 different types of butterflies. Don't ask me to identify them, but red ones, white ones, orange ones, little brown ones, and little white ones, whatever they are. Here we are, we're out in nature. Had a couple of sandwiches. Had a bit of a crack with you guys. So all I would ask you to do now is to hit that like button, please, and you know, possibly even subscribe, because I'll be back, and perhaps we'll do Lingfell next, and we'll look back at this walk from there. How's that sound? Anyway, for now, I'll say goodbye. See you on the fells.